Is now the perfect time to remake this game? Nintendo has been going all out with remakes over the last few years, even from old cult classics and long-forgotten IPs. Anything feels possible right now, and that's why I think we could see a remake of Earthbound. Known in Japan as Mother 2, it's the only one of the series originally to be released internationally. Later on, we eventually got Earthbound Beginnings, or the original Mother 1, but we've still yet to get Mother 3. Anyway, Earthbound is currently celebrating its 30th anniversary in Japan. It was originally released on August 27th, 1994, and in North America, June 5th, 1995. So next year will be the game's 30th anniversary in America. This goofy RPG follows Ness and his friends as they work to stop an alien invasion, and a lot of bizarre adults along the way. And the battles were a little bit different in the traditional turn-based RPGs at the time. Anyway, the game has a cult classic following, even if the original release wasn't really considered successful outside of Japan. Of course, many more people now know about Earthbound thanks to Ness and his appearance in every game in the Super Smash Bros. Series. And the game has been frequently made available over the years too, most recently on the Wii U Virtual Console, 3DS Virtual Console, and the SNES NSO. But would being on NSO impact the remake for the game? Well, Link's Awakening is on the Game Boy NSO, though that did come after the remake released, so it's hard to say. Okay, so it's clear that I want an Earthbound remake, but to understand why it's a great idea, we need to look at another cult classic SNES RPG that recently got a remake, Super Mario RPG. This beloved SNES title got a remake back in 2023, over 25 years after the original SNES game released in 1996. And it was completely remade in 3D with some brand new cutscenes. Otherwise, it was incredibly faithful. They even brought in the original composer to redo all the music. They did make some changes though, like updating a bunch of the enemy names and the overall localization. There was also some new content, including post-game boss rematches, and even a new optional super boss in addition to Kulex. But one of the biggest details here is that by the end of December 31st, 2023, just barely a month after the game released, Super Mario RPG's remake already outsold the original game's lifetime sales. So there may really be a market for full-on remakes of these SNES cult classics. Sure, Geno's popularity may have had a hand in that success, but surely Mother 3's popularity would help an Earthbound remake in the same way, right? Regardless, while there's a market for these full-on remakes, why is now the perfect time? Well, like we mentioned earlier, it's currently the 30th anniversary of Earthbound. The creator of the Mother series, Shigesato Itoi, has been heavily promoting the series for this anniversary. The Hobonichi Mother Project, which serves to celebrate the Mother series as a whole with merchandise, events, and more, has been more active than ever in 2024, specifically for this anniversary. At the start of this year, Itoi and Hobonichi Mother Project had posted a tease about all sorts of events and celebrations throughout the year for the anniversary. And so far, this has manifested in several ways, including new merchandise, like new character toys and plushies, including of the Mother 3 cast, and a brand new NES vinyl figure, which honestly looks pretty cool. There have also been pop-up stores in Japan, a 30th anniversary stream concert called The Music of Mother, and soon, the Secret of Mother 2 pop-up museum, which gives a special look at various development materials of Earthbound, including concept art, level designs, and possibly even the clay figures used to promote the game. Earthbound has had a lot happening to celebrate its 30th anniversary, more than many other games get in fact. But could this all culminate in announcing that the game will get a full-blown remake? I mean, why would they remake it in the first place? Well, like we mentioned before, many more people know Ness now thanks to his appearances in other games, and the Earthbound re-releases on Virtual Console and NSO over the years have been great, but remakes grab a new audience. An entire generation has grown up since the original SNES game released, and there's a whole new audience of young players too. And with the success of the Super Mario RPG remake, there really may be a market for these cult classic SNES games getting remakes. So let's look at it all hypothetically. Who would develop this? Well, HAL Laboratory co-developed the original game. So what if they were the developers of a remake? Either the sole developers, like with Kirby games, or perhaps co-developed with another Nintendo studio. And perhaps a bigger question, would Shigesato Itoi be involved in the development of the game? Well, the original creator of Super Mario RPG wasn't involved in the remake, so it's kinda hard to say there. Although it seems that Itoi still owns some of the rights to the mother IP, so he may at least need some level of involvement. Between Itoi and HAL Laboratory, we may even get a good idea for what the game could look like too. The game might get translated into 3D, maybe with a similar art style to the Smash games. Just look at how NES and these Earthbound locations have been translated into 3D in different Smash games, like in Melee, Brawl, and Smash Ultimate. We can look at Lucas too, but we're mainly focusing on Earthbound here, not Mother 3. And to see a full RPG with this kind of art style would be pretty nice, and it wouldn't be all that different from Super Mario RPG's art style either, all things considered. But if not the Smash style, we could see the clay art from the player guide and the original marketing for the game. This would be a perfect way to capture the original artistic intent of the characters in the world, and it would be pretty unique in its appearance too. Okay, maybe not looking exactly like this art, but definitely pulling inspiration from it, with an overall aesthetic. Maybe something like Kirby and the Rainbow Curse with its clay aesthetic, which is one of the only other games that comes to mind for having that claymation art style. Or the recent Yoshi games, all having a crafted look to them. Or, I don't know, even the Link's Awakening remake, where it looked like a bunch of toys and models. Seeing this kind of art direction for an Earthbound remake would be pretty enticing, and it would be pretty cute too. But realistically, we could actually see some sort of fusion of these. The general design and proportions as seen in the Smash games, perhaps, but with a more clay or toy model design to it all. Just imagine the different towns and cities of Earthbound made to look like handcrafted toy models. I think that'd be pretty cool, honestly. But another big question that comes with the remake would be if the game would get any changes or updates. And we're pretty sure that the game would be incredibly faithful in terms of content. Maybe it would have new 3D animated cutscenes, sort of like Mario RPG did. But would they go as far as adding voices? NES does have a voice in the Smash games.
Okay.
And the Super Mario RPG remake even gave Bowser and Yoshi their proper voice clips. Though it largely left the game without voice acting, just as it was originally. So it's kinda hard to say there. But for new content, Super Mario RPG added a new system to its battles, the triple moves. While I don't expect to see a similar mechanic in Earthbound, it's worth asking, could they update the battle system? Mother 3 had a sort of rhythm game to its attacks, sort of like the action commands of the Mario RPG games. Maybe we could see that system brought into Earthbound? Or perhaps we'd see some other new systems to help keep the game feeling fresh and unique to Nintendo's other RPGs. Maybe this game could also get some sort of post-game content. Mario RPG handles its new post-game content by recognizing that the story's been completed, then starting back at Mario's house, but specifically before the final boss. And from there, new content has been added in other areas of the game. So an Earthbound remake could do something similar, perhaps putting Ness back at his house before the final area of the game, and the save file registering completion, then unlocking new things in the world, such as new boss rematches. Or maybe it could all be done through the reappearance of Magicant for Ness. While we're making a lot of comparisons to the Super Mario RPG remake, ultimately, there's no way to know for sure if an Earthbound remake would follow in the same footsteps. It's really the closest we have though, so it's the easiest format to follow for brainstorming these ideas. And hey, if an Earthbound remake ever happens, maybe it could even pave the path to seeing Mother 3. Realistically, of course we have no idea if an Earthbound remake is something Nintendo's even considering. But with the hype around the 30th anniversary throughout this year, it's clearly an exciting idea to think about. But what do you guys think? Would you want to see an Earthbound remake? And could you see it happen? If so, what form do you think it could take? Let us know your thoughts in the comments, and make sure to subscribe to GameXplain for plenty more on Nintendo, and other things gaming as well, of course. Until next time, farewell.